What is up, everyone? It's the Unknown here. Today we're gonna watch some of the scariest and creepiest YouTube videos. Let's start.
In an era of ever-increasing worldwide surveillance, the deep web operates as the last bastion of true online privacy. The anonymous nature of the deep web means anybody can post literally anything they want. In other words, there are no rules here, and with no rules comes some of the most unsettling content you could ever hope to find. Here's a video that honestly makes me sick if it's real. It starts with a girl sleeping on the floor of a dirty room. The camera has been recording her for the past 13 hours. She has barricaded herself inside and is now faced with a limited amount of food. At one point, she notices the camera and huddles into the middle of the room. Eventually, she makes a sign saying that she has run out of water and pleading with anybody who is watching online for help. She says that she has been left here for days, though she does not give a location. I can't help but wonder if this is one of the infamous red rooms from the deep web. Supposedly, red rooms are where people are systematically destroyed at the command of online sadists who are willing to pay large sums of money. Maybe she barricaded herself in the room, and now her attackers are waiting for her to become too weak from starvation to resist them. The video ends with somebody knocking down her barricade and getting inside. If this is a real red room, they probably began the show shortly thereafter. Number 12. A YouTube channel called Some Ordinary Gamers has well over 100 videos exploring the vast reaches of the deep web. He's casually hopping from site to site when suddenly this twisted image fills his screen.
Here we've got what appears to be a woman with her eyes sort of completely blacked out.
Some Ordinary Gamers is hesitant about watching this video by himself late at night. With that said, he knows he needs to give the fans what they want and reluctantly presses play.
So it seems like we've got music in reverse being played right now for the camera, so beautiful stuff indeed. Wait, hold on. She's saying numbers. It's a numbers station.
The girl with blacked out eyes keeps repeating a series of coded sequences over and over again. The video makes no sense and is well over 5 minutes long. Some Ordinary Gamers doesn't try to crack the code, but he does have another idea that's just as good. He runs the audio through a program and plays it in reverse. This weird melody is what he finds. It could be hackers, the government, or even just a prank to waste people's time. Exactly what it means is anyone's guess, but mysteries like this is what makes the deep web so special, creepy, and weird. Number 11. This possible deep web video was discovered and posted by a YouTube channel called Is Overkill. In it, two bizarre-looking figures walk forward in jerky, unnatural movements. The first one is dressed like a witch and has long, gnarled limbs and fingers on display. The second one is dressed the same way and is wearing what I hope is a mask and not its real face. Let me know if you recognize these figures from any television or movie series. I would feel a lot better knowing that this is just a film set and not a real video. If this does turn out to be real, and I don't even want to know its location or the surrounding circumstances. Number 10. Love.api is a haunting deep web video that focuses on a strange relationship between a man wearing a white mask and a clown with a blade. At times, it's almost as if the clown is wordlessly encouraging the man to go out and commit unspeakable acts. I don't know if it's subliminal messages or what, but there's something about this video that makes most people feel uneasy after watching it. There's not even really any jump scares or anything like that. It's just the overall sinister tone. If you detect detected any hidden messages in this video, or if anything weird happened while you were watching this video, please be sure to let me know. Number 9. This deep web video of a creepy ventriloquist doll spinning in circles has been causing a controversy for some time. The lighting looks like it's from a silent film, though I'm not sure it's from a more recent era than that. Some people report feeling dizzy after watching this video for long enough and claim to see the dummy's face change, though that could just be their nerves playing tricks on them. Either way, if you somehow know the origin of this video or what is happening here, then please let me know. Number 8. Edeka loads up his encrypted Tor browser and starts live streaming his experience on the deep web. It isn't long before he finds a website that makes his jaw drop.
Okay, Dark Mamba is an independent private military company formed by ex-military corps and special forces. We operate worldwide, very based by...
This is an assassin website.
Apparently, this organization of ex-military officials from around the world are willing to provide a wide variety of services, from snatching people in the middle of the night to outright assassinations. Burning and poisoning people are just two more of their specialties. At the bottom is a short list of rules detailing how and when to pay. Nowhere on this rules list is there a minimum age requirement or any other exemptions, so I guess even children are fair game. There's an email address to contact them, but Aurora wisely decides not to push it that far. It's probably either an FBI trap or even worse, the real deal. Either way, the last thing we want to do is waste a hired assassin's time on the deep web, so he just moves on to the next site without further comments. Number 7. This deep web video features a disembodied head in a skeleton mask hovering over a single candle. He speaks in Spanish and uses a voice changer, but his tone makes it clear that he has only the worst intentions in mind. Unfortunately, other than the general creepy atmosphere of this video, I have no idea what is being said here. Listen to what he says and help me translate if you can. Something about this makes me...
That's what it was in Spanish, and I know Spanish, and I didn't understand a word that the man said, so if you understood, tell me in the comments.
That he is either making a confession or telling us about future plans. Let me know if I am right about this hunch, and if you think this video is real. Number 6. This video was reportedly made by an insane person and uploaded onto the deep web as a way to express his condition and somehow communicate with others. This is the first 5 seconds of the video, and it just gets worse from there. The scenes quickly go from creepy landscapes to pictures of crime scene photos and other gruesome depictions that I'm not allowed to show here. The amateur footage in this video looks like it could be real. The audio is nothing but unsettling, high-pitched sounds, and there is no indications of subliminal messages, but I wouldn't be surprised if some found their way in there. Number 5. This anxiety-producing deep web video is a collection of strange clips accompanied by multiple layers of creepy audio. After a while, it becomes increasingly demonic and obsessed with black magic imagery as the jarring audio intensifies. The video also contains multiple languages. I think this part, for example, is both Spanish and Russian. Translate this clip if you can and tell me what's going on here. This could just be an art project, but then again, maybe there's something more devious at work here. It's almost as if this video was made in as many...
You have a call. 63066.
Sorry for pausing, guys. Somebody was calling me.
possible to corrupt the greatest number of minds at once. Whatever they are saying, however, I'm not exactly sure. Number 4. The key to remains to know he accesses the deep web and looks around for the better part of half an hour. At one point comes across a deep website called Rent a Hacker, and he starts reading the website out loud. The website is run by a hacker who claims to have made a career out of ruining people's lives online. He says the minimum amount he's willing to work for is $230. Smart business websites obtain personal information like passwords and blackmail people are just 3 of his specialties. And even plant secret content on a person's computer to get them in prison for a long time. At the bottom of the site is a menu to buy his services using untraceable Bitcoin transactions. The menu looks a bit good, but it's hard to tell for sure. On one hand, I wouldn't be surprised if this entire thing isn't real, and the money just goes into some random person's Bitcoin wallet. Then again, if this person is as good as they say, then I guess it wouldn't be hard for them to contact the actor payment to get more information about the job. Number 3. This deep web video is a collection of old horror movies you can identify. There's one clip that I don't recognize though. Other people don't recognize this scene either. They even think that a psycho could have spliced a small portion of your video into a horror movie montage. This would be the perfect way to brag about what you've done without making it too obvious. Let me know if you recognize what movie this woman is from, if any. If nobody has seen this before then, as much as I hate to say it, I think this portion might be home video from a genuine psychopath. Number 2. This video was supposedly found on a deep web server under the file name BBB1992 Iger. BBB is short for extraterrestrial biological entity, and the uploader thinks Iger could be a mountaintop location in Switzerland. Obviously, 1992 refers to the year that this video was made. Anyway, what's especially odd is how the camera person moves around in a hurry as they record still photograph after still photograph of this strange gray area. I got the impression that they were recording classified evidence of an area that they did not belong in. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills, and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I recently released a small mixtape, and I'd love to know what you think of it. Tap the circle icon in the top right corner, then tap My Mixtape to give it a listen. It's also linked in the description below. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person, so if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new video I upload every Thursday. Number 1. I have no idea about the date, time, or location of this video. All I know is that it's supposedly been uploaded to the deep web because the original uploader didn't want to be tracked by the federal government.
You have a call. 630.
Okay guys, sorry again for pausing. They were telling me at the end that let's get back to the video.
Retaliation for getting their story out, a large bright blue object is quietly claiming the night sky outside of an apartment complex.
What is this? What is that? It's a one angel.
After a while, the sky block stops in place and begins to expand outwards. Whatever it is, by the end of the video, it seems to take up nearly half of the sky. If this is real, then we probably would have never known any of this had ever happened without the anonymous deep web. Whether it's with vicious...
Okay guys, that was the first video. Let's check out the second video. Let's check out this one.
Dash cams are mainly used to protect drivers in court, but every once in a while, they record things that seem to border on the realm of the impossible. Many of the people on this
Just one more thing, guys. This is the same guy from the video before. I'm pretty sure of that.
Just have stories so outrageous that they would never be believed without some form of video evidence. Number 13. Two friends are having a discussion in a car late one night when something unusual and alarming makes them give pause.
Okay, that's a bit scary. Yeah, that's a bit scary. That is very scary. Alright.
Sitting motionless in the middle of the road is what appears to be a pale, almost translucent child, silently regarding them with a blank, featureless face. The two friends ask no questions and immediately get away from the scene before anything else can happen. They weren't sure what to make of this child at the time, but they later suspect that it was in fact an unfriendly spirit waiting for them. If this is not a paranormal encounter, then I think this child was perhaps being used as a distraction for a highway ambush, so it's a good thing they got out of there instead of leaving their car to investigate. Let me know what you would have done in this situation. Number 12. This police cam footage was taken during a massive wildfire in Sonoma County, California in 2017. Officers are doing what they can to evacuate the public and restore order, but as this brief dashcam video shows, they were up against total chaos at the time. Listen closely and you'll even hear the dispatcher say that they can't tell which direction the fire is spreading and seems to be genuinely overwhelmed. I have to salute this officer and all of the other brave public officials who willingly charged into a massive blaze to try and help everyone. Number 11. It's a peaceful bus ride in the Russian countryside until the large vehicle finds itself surrounded by a countless number of these winged pests. Everyone inside is terrified as a swarm of gigantic locusts slam into the bus with enough force to rock its heavy-duty suspension system. The sky darkens and the driver and passengers are all helpless as the bus careens through millions upon millions of these oversized bugs, threatening to veer off course if things get much worse. Eventually, they can see the sun and sky again as they come through the other side of the living insect cloud. Everyone is ultimately unharmed, but understandably very alarmed at what they had just witnessed. If the bus had broken down, for example, then they would have been stranded until the never-ending swarm of locusts had passed. Not to mention what would have happened if the windows had broken. Number 10. A police officer in Lincoln, Kentucky is patrolling the streets when he chances upon something quite strange standing in the middle of the road. A tiny figure runs towards his headlights as soon as he gets out of the car to investigate.
Deputy Jeremy Gatney of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office was on a routine patrol when his headlights shone across something running towards him.
The officer is surprised to find a small child standing in the middle of the road without any adults nearby. He instinctively picks the toddler up, and just moments later, a Mack truck plows by very close to where the child was first spotted. It's a good thing the police officer saw the child first, because I doubt the driver of the tall truck would have noticed until it was too late. Apparently, the child had wandered out the front door of his home when no one was looking and took off down the busy road. The family was extremely relieved to have their child back, and fortunately they were not charged with neglect. Number 9. This YouTuber is fairly sure that he's captured a ghost on his dash cam when he's traveling down a suburban road and sees reflective lights on the right. Watch the parked car on the right to see what I mean. I personally think it looks like someone could be stepping into his line of movement here. It happens quickly, so I'll play it again in slow motion. Let me know if you see it. But when he pulls up to where the lights were, he and his friends are surprised to find nothing's there.
go. They're working for the...
I actually literally did not see what it was. If you guys saw it, sorry, please let me know.
Right? Like a wheelchair.
Both of them swear they saw the lights and thought someone was crossing the street. I guess his headlights could have been reflecting off of the parked car, but then again, the angle doesn't exactly seem to match up. Let me know if you see it and what you think it could have been. Number 8. A gigantic streak of lightning in Paducah, Kentucky was so large that it was caught by 2 different police dash cams. The first police car was far away, and its dash cam footage shows just how long this massive lightning bolt was, and the second police car was much, much closer.
If you could go back to it. Well, the reply would be...
Oh my god.
The lightning bolt directly hit a nearby residence. Fortunately, everyone inside was alright, but this particular officer will never forget how close he came to being charred alive. Number 7. A Russian driver is having a casual conversation behind the wheel when suddenly his thoughts are interrupted by a bizarre and unexpected change of events. A large cement truck just a few cars ahead of them literally plunges below the asphalt as a gigantic sinkhole forms underneath its back tires. The cement truck driver soon comes out and surveys what just happened, but there's little for him to do. If anything, he and everyone else should be hurrying to get away from the sinkhole instead of casually observing it. I don't know what happened next, but hopefully the sinkhole did not grow any larger and everyone made it out okay. Number 6. This electrifying event occurred in May of 2017 on the northeastern side of Shenyang City. A white-hot light showers the street with sparks, but it's not from a blown transformer or down power lines. A bolt of lightning has cracked the asphalt with a type of raw power that only nature can generate. It's a good thing that this street was lined with trees instead of power lines, or else this dashcam video would have almost certainly looked a whole lot worse. Number 5. This dashcam footage was taken on a busy road somewhere in India. Nothing looks out of the ordinary until a tiny object performs a bizarre aerial maneuver while hovering above the road. The saucer-shaped object appears to somehow stop and change directions mid-flight. Somehow, none of the oncoming motorists in the other lane seem to notice, which I think is odd, but maybe it all happened too fast for them to see. If not, then I think this dashcam video might be a fake, but I'm curious to hear your opinion. Number 4. A YouTuber named Alyssa Cross is driving down a local road somewhere in the south when she comes across a person who she has never seen before acting quite strangely at the side of the road. You can hear the nervousness in Alyssa's voice as she and her friend agree that it looks like this person could have some sort of strange virus. Zombie or not, one can only wonder how many other viral outbreaks began in this exact same casual style of conversation. It appears that if that's not the case, then this person is under the influence of something strong. Alyssa quietly drives past and leaves the stranger behind. Number 3. This mysterious dashcam footage was taken somewhere in Europe years ago and has been stumping YouTubers across the world ever since. When this car takes a left, you can clearly see that all of the other cars in the opposite lane are at a full stop. In other words, there's absolutely no incoming traffic. Then all of a sudden this happens. The car is suddenly cut off by a second car that appears seemingly out of nowhere. Keep in mind that 2 other cars were making a right at the same time, and at no point does there appear to be any space for this ghost car to squeeze through. I've watched this video over a dozen times and still have no explanation, so help me out if you have any idea how this happened. Number 2. Ronald Wiley was driving down a long stretch of road in West Virginia when suddenly no less than 7 trees simultaneously fall nearly on him in his blue pickup truck. He's stunned for a moment and then quickly throws the vehicle in reverse because there are live power lines near that look like they could give way at any moment if Ronald had been going just a little bit faster, or if the trees were growing literally just a few inches to the left. Then he no doubt would have been caught in the middle of this and been a goner for sure. Instead of this outcome, he somehow makes it with only minor damage to a windshield wiper. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious,
See guys, I told you it was the same guy from before that we watched.
about what I look like in real life, and go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I'm currently doing a super poll on my Instagram. If you believe ghosts are real, and go to my most recent photo and tap the like button. If you don't, DM me saying why. When you're done, come right back to this video to find out the number 1 entry. Also, follow me on Twitter at YTChills because that's where I post video updates. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new videos I upload every Thursday and Sunday. Number 1. It's late at night in the Russian Urals when suddenly the atmosphere itself becomes unrecognizable. A brilliant flash of reddish yellow light intensifies for a full 15 seconds before dissolving back into darkness as if nothing had happened. Scientists have been able to give no explanation for this occurrence, though this
Guys, if you think you know what just happened there that you know,
looks like it could possibly be a blast in my opinion. Give me your best guess or let me know if you agree. Either way, this dazzling and silent light show is one of the craziest things I've seen on dashcam by far. Surveillance systems are supposed to keep you secure, but
okay guys, that's all the time I have for today. Please give a like and hit the subscribe button below. Let me know what you think, and yeah.